Okay, so with Women's Euro 2025 nearing the end of match day 1, let's take a look at each team from Group D. Kicking off with the Netherlands.
As I don't say they cut make it. As I don't say they cut make it. As I don't say they cut make it.
Winning the Euros on home soil back in 2017. The Oranje Leeuwinnen have been on a slight downward spiral ever since Arina Wiegman quit our national team. As for my opinion on our current coach, I don't trust Andries Jonker, cause his tactics are garbage and his man management skills virtually non-existent. Luckily though, we're getting rid of him after the summer. Which is good f***ing riddance, as his tactics, well...
The attack midfielder come out wide and Bernstein operate in this half space, or vice versa. And then Jill Ward is going to come from this left space, allowing Esme Brooks to operate as this auxiliary as usual. 3-2-5, slightly different. So on this screen, we can see this 3-5.
Chastity Grant come in and play this right back, we're going to see more of this diamond type shape to the other shape. It's going to be slightly the 4-3-3, or more 4-3-3, or 4-5-1 type shape, where it will function more like a 4-1-4-1 is probably the most common thing.
This shit no more, man. Nobody knows, as Jonker has constantly been switching between completely different systems. But considering Linef Berenstein isn't going to be fit for our opening game, I'm assuming he'll line us up in a 4-2-3-1. In goal, the Dutch can rely on Champions League winner Daphne van Domselaar, who should be protected at all costs, considering our backup Lise Kop possesses the reflexes of your 90-year-old granny with arthritis in both arms. With Stefanie van der Gracht having since retired, our nation is now pinning its hopes on 19-year-old Veerle Buurman, who's essentially just a child, to partner Dominique Janssen in defense. Although Veerle has been doing well in the Eredivisie, earning herself a move to Chelsea, it does beg the question if she'll be able to hold her own, facing off against some of Europe's best attackers. On the left we have Esme Brugts, one of the hardest prospects in the women's game, although we're clearly not getting the best out of her, as this absolute bozo flat out refuses to play her on the left wing. In holding midfield, Wiekenkaptein is pretty much a nailed-on starter, with the 19-year-old playing a significant amount of minutes, as Chelsea won the treble this season. With on the left wing Jill Roord playing as this half winger or whatever, which is good as long as we get the Man City midfielder on the ball and prevent her from roaming around the pitch aimlessly like a headless chicken. In attacking midfield, this is said to be Danielle van der Donk's final tournament, which is sad because Danielle wasn't only a fan favorite, but also kept her head down and contributed a lot to the team when we needed her the most. With, of course, Vivianne Miedema. Playing up top as the lone striker, who having played is expected to be fully fit ahead of her opening game against Wales. Meanwhile, Katja Snoeis making the final squad is like rubbing salt into the wound, bro, I swear. Katja Snoeis? I'd rather jump off the nearest cliff. With their golden generation slowly fading away, can the Dutch women's national team find a way to repeat the magic? Up next is France, who have a history of producing top-level teams, with their fans tipping them to go all the way, only for them to crash and burn at the final hurdle.
Chains of conformity are turning me down.
Since Hervé Renard stepped down after the 2024 Olympics,
I'm super hot.
the French FA appointed Laurence Bonnadet as their new head coach. Having decided on leaving Wendy Renard out of his squad, sees Bonnadet line up a defensive pairing of Maya Lacroix and Gretchen Bock, creating a pacey centre-back duo. Kenza Dali's omission from the squad saw him shifting left-back Sakina Karshawi into the role of a number 10, which sounds strange on the surface, until you realize she's actually really good on the ball, possesses an extremely wide range of passes, and offers great off-the-ball movement. Anchoring Karshawi in the midfield is PSG's Blaise Matuidi. Oh shit, no, Grace Guerrero, operating as their box-to-box midfielder. But going forward, the French possess all the tools necessary to absolutely terrorize opposition defenders this summer. With on the left Sandy Baltimore, who since joining Chelsea has been ending defenders their careers in the WSL. And I could definitely see her ending up as player of the tournament. And having Kadidiatou Diani on the opposite wing is just unfair, bro. 29 goal contributions for Olympique Lyon this season. She could be in serious contention to lift the Ballon d'Or. With of course Marie-Antoinette Katoto as their main centre forward, who is back with a point to prove after missing out on the 2023 World Cup. Wales are essentially royally fucked, because with Diani's pure pace, Baltimore's skill and Katoto's aerial ability, who the hell is gonna stop them? Gemma Evans?
Fuck no.
Coming off the back of
12 matchs, 30 buts sur 8 victoires consécutives.
Can the French finally live up to the hype by lifting their first ever piece of silverware this summer? Next up, the reigning champions. Okay, that's your daily dose of montages for the entire day.
Fuck no.
Sarina Wiegman has them in a 4-3-3. With Chelsea's Hannah Hampton in between the sticks. Which, after Wiegman made it clear to Mary Earps that she wasn't going to be her number one goalkeeper this time round, resulted in her throwing a hissy fit, quitting the national team in shame, and whining about it in the media. Earps, maybe if you'd sat your ass down, worked hard, and fought for your place, who knows, you might still have been their number one goalkeeper.
It was perfect, but no, you just had to blow it up. You and your pride and your ego. You just had to be the man.
In defense, Millie Bright's absence from the squad, we'll see Wiegman line up a defensive pairing of Williamson and Greenwood, with Williamson having lifted Arsenal the UCL title. At 34 years old, Lucy Bronze is starting to show her age a little, but still is one of the finest defenders around regardless. In the midfield, it'll be a close call between Jess Park and Ella Toole, although Park just about edges it out for me, as she is on another level when it comes to progressing the ball. Georgia Stanway hasn't featured much for Bayern this season, but if she can reignite the sparks of the stuff she did at the last Euros, she could absolutely end up being a game changer for the Lionesses this summer.
Oh, Tyler Modric, my brother, he's got the pumpy.
Up front, Lauren Hempus returned from her knee injury, looking sharper than ever before. And if the girl starts dribbling like this, already know it's overblown.
Oh my god! Oh jeez, oh my god!
With of course Beth Mead on the opposite flank. If she plays anything like she did back in 2022, the Lionesses possess an absolute demon on the right wing.
Oh, Ty Salah, my guy, he's got the frisbee.
And to whoever brainwashed our generation into thinking Ronaldo Nazario is the real R9, Bro's legacy is in danger for real, I swear. With players such as Lauren James, Aggie Beaver-Jones and Chloe Kelly on the bench, despite skepticism from the English media, the Lionesses enter this tournament as one of the favourites. Last and most certainly least, we gotta talk about Wales, who wrote history by beating Ireland in a playoff final to qualify themselves for their first major international tournament. Rhian Wilkinson will definitely line them up in a 4-5-1, as the Welsh were essentially given a death sentence by being drawn into this group.
Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund, Inter.
Player for player, their squad isn't actually that bad, with the likes of Sophie Ingle, Gemma Evans, Josie Green, Hayley Ladd and Cherry Holland all competing in the WSL, behind Leicester City's Hannah playing as the lone striker. The midfield, however, is where the real stars can be found, with their captain Anger Had James, along with Jessica Fishlock, who both compete in the NWSL, with a 38-year-old Fishlock being their all-time record goal scorer and most technically gifted player. She'll certainly be their main force of creativity going forward. In terms of their results, you can say that picking up 2 1-0 draws against Sweden goes to show that the Welsh defense is difficult to break down. But you could also say that they got thrashed against Italy and stand no chance facing off against the likes of Miedema, Russo, Katoto, Mead, Hemp, Diani and Sandy Baltimore. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and whatever. Peace.
Ja, ik 21 jaar studeren.